So let's get right into it. While a lot of us are still just messing around with AI on our screens, asking it questions, writing emails, China is doing something completely different. They're actually building an entire society around it, pulling AI out of the digital world and plugging it straight into the physical one. And I really want to be clear about this right from the start. What we're about to talk about isn't some far-off futuristic concept. It is the day-to-day reality in parts of China right now. We're talking driverless taxis being a totally normal way to get home, delivery drones buzzing overhead with your lunch, and AI tutors that might just know a student's weak spots better than their actual teachers do. So the big question is, how on earth did this all happen so incredibly fast? Well, a huge part of the answer lies right here, in public opinion. Take a look at this. A survey found that a staggering 78% of people in China believe AI has more advantages than disadvantages. Now compare that to just 35% in the United States. That kind of widespread optimism creates the perfect environment for this sort of massive society-wide change to really take off. This didn't just happen randomly. Not at all. It was the result of a very deliberate, top-down national strategy designed to completely transform the country. Let's rewind a bit to get the bigger picture. Back in 2016, the US started putting out its first real policies on AI. And just 1 year later, China responded with this, a massive, detailed roadmap of its own. And it came with the goal that was, frankly, incredibly ambitious, to become the world's undisputed leader in AI by the year 2030. Suddenly, this wasn't just another tech project. It shot right to the top of the national priority list.
And yeah, they definitely put their money where their mouth is. The plan aimed to build a domestic AI industry worth $150 billion. You see, for Beijing, AI wasn't just some cool new gadget. It was the answer to some of their biggest national challenges: a slowing economy, a population that's aging really fast, and rising costs for labor. AI wasn't a luxury. It was a necessity.
Okay, so that's the plan on paper, but what does it actually look like on the ground? This is where AI stops being a document and starts, quite literally, rewriting the world around us. Let's just start with a number: 8 million. That's the number of paid rides taken in Baidu's autonomous taxi service, Apollo Go. And just so we're clear, we are not talking about a couple of test cars driving around an empty parking lot. In a city like Wuhan, we're talking about hundreds of fully driverless taxis operating as a public service. For a lot of people there, getting into a car with no driver, well, it's just how you get home from work. It's normal.
Okay, so that's the ground. Now let's look up at the sky. As of mid-2024, China had almost 1.9 million registered drones.
Now, to help you wrap your head around that number, get this. That flying workforce of drones is larger than the total number of commercial airline pilots in the entire world. These things are out there delivering packages, checking on power lines, and even spraying crops in farm fields.
And this integration goes so much deeper. In the city of Hangzhou, an AI called City Brain manages the traffic lights and has cut traffic jams by 15%. At the gigantic Tianjin port, driverless trucks and cranes are just working away 24/7. You've got lights-out factories where robots build things in the dark. And out on farms, AI is guiding tractors and telling farmers exactly how much fertilizer to use and where. It's basically a nationwide operating system upgrade.
All right, so we've seen the huge scale, the cities, the industries. Now let's zoom all the way in, right down to the individual level. This is where AI stops being just infrastructure and starts becoming more like a partner in our daily lives. In millions of homes, you've got AI tutors on tablets, creating a unique learning plan for every single kid. In some schools, there are these AI-powered therapy kiosks where students can talk to an animated avatar about their mental health. At home, you've got companion robots answering a kid's millionth question for the day. And even in the creative world, AI is restoring classic old movies to perfect 4K and helping video game designers create entire virtual worlds from just a few words of text. And sometimes the impact is just incredibly personal. There's this story of a 23-year-old student born with a condition that meant he could never walk. He and his classmates built an AI-assisted 3D-printed exoskeleton, and he used it to stand up and walk for the very first time. This is where the tech goes from just being impressive to being genuinely life-changing. But, a leap forward this massive is never that simple. Behind all this incredible progress, China's AI dream is starting to bump up against some very, very hard limits. And it really boils down to two huge roadblocks. The first one is hardware.
China's AI boom is still powered by high-end computer chips that are designed elsewhere, and that creates a major vulnerability, especially as the US restricts exports. The second roadblock is trust, and that's a problem with at home, with concerns about surveillance, and abroad, with global fears over data privacy. That internal trust issue often centers on the very controversial social credit system. It's a system where AI and big data are used to track and score what people and companies do, and then reward or restrict them based on that score. This use of AI as a tool for social control is, as you can imagine, a major source of concern around the world. And that feeds directly into the external trust problem. As this quote gets at, other countries are deeply worried that any data collected by Chinese AI companies could end up in the hands of the Chinese government. That suspicion basically creates what you could call an import ban on trust, and it makes it really, really hard for China's AI products to expand globally. So when you put all these pieces together, you start to realize something. The global race for AI supremacy, it's about way more than just who can build the smartest algorithm. It's a full-on contest between two different systems. And that brings us to the absolute heart of the matter. Right now, we are looking at two fundamentally different visions for what AI is even supposed to be. In the West, for the most part, AI is a digital tool. It lives inside our screens. In China, AI is a physical thing. It is broken out of the screen. It steers cars, it manages ports, it builds products. So the real race isn't just about software. It's about who can best merge intelligent machines with the fabric of our physical world. Which leaves us with one final huge question. Is this all-in push for a physical AI society paving the way for a hyper-efficient, amazing future? Or does the power it gives to the people in charge risk creating a present that is just hyper-controlled? That's the core tension, the tightrope they're walking. And honestly, we're all watching to see which way it goes.